Hey everybody, and welcome back. We are continuing our deep dive into the hero's journey of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Bolt Thief, specifically Act 3 of the hero's journey, comparing the movie and the TV show adaptations of this story and seeing how they differ using the hero's journey. So let's get started. Now we've entered into the belly of the beast. This is where kind of all hope is lost. In the movie, they go to Hades. Hades states that he wants the bolt. He is kind of a little bit out of his depth in this idea of getting the bolt. He then finds the bolt and has to face off against a god, which he may or may not be equipped for. Luckily for him, Hades' wife interferes, giving him the only out that he can. However, this does give an imperative in which Percy must choose one of his loved ones to leave behind in the underworld. Now, in the movie, they do say that Grover kind of does want to stay in the world, you know? But either way, he has to make the difficult decision of leaving one of his companions behind to further the plot and stop, of course, the war between gods. And so he does. Unlike in the TV show, Hades is part of the ordeal, but it's not actually the definitive thing. Hades quite quickly confesses that he didn't want the lightning bolt, he wanted his helmet back, which is how the thief actually even stole the lightning bolt. And he makes a deal with Percy. If he gets his helmet back, he is able to save his mom, making his ordeal and challenge of leaving her behind in the underworld just a little bit longer difficult, but not an impossible choice. The impossible choice was actually facing off against the god of war. Come on now, I know you're a demigod, I know you're supposed to be powerful. He's the god of war! War! Yes, I am talking about Ares, the man, the myth, the legend. Yes, we had seen him earlier in this television show as a obstacle or trial for Percy, but this was going head to head with the god himself in a battle of all things, a battle. Now, I do like that they make it very much more realistic in the aspect that all Percy has to do is make Ares bleed. It's not really defeating him in a battle, which I don't think, no matter how strong Percy is, he could possibly do. I don't think he's not at that level. He might be further on in the books, but he's definitely not in this current time. Do not agree with that if that were to ever happen. Luckily, they make it a more reasonable distinction in which he does in fact just have to make him bleed. That in itself will show Ares that Percy means business and he has earned the right to the helmet. Why? Because story. And this is where Percy really shows his strength, his ability to fight, his willingness and wit to outmaneuver even the god of war, which makes a fantastic sequence, my man. But it does give you a worry of, will Percy actually walk out of this or not? Because if he doesn't, he loses his mom forever. There is no going back, there's no nothing. This is the pinnacle of what he has wanted since the beginning of this journey, and we get to see it unfold here and now. And it is a spectacle of beauty, and he in fact does get to save his mom. He does in fact defeat the god of war and is able to return the helm back to Hades, getting his mom back. Not really sure if he's gonna do that because Hades could have changed his mind, but he's giving a faith that his uncle will not betray him so quickly. This allows Percy to go on his way and onto the journey that is the Olympian gods and returning the bolt before civil war breaks out. That leads us into Act 9, the reward. The reward in the movie is that Percy Jackson's personal goal is achieved. Percy saved his mom. That's kind of it. The reward in the TV show, after he makes Ares bleed and is able to present the helm back to one of Hades' minions, mainly the fury, he is able to save his mom. With this, he's also able to return the lightning bolt to Zeus, stopping a civil war within the gods. He has achieved his goal. He has restored his family and his love, successfully stopped his loved ones and new friends from going into an all-out war for each other, as well as a different reward that he didn't fully expect, which was getting to meet Poseidon. And even though it was a quick little chat, he was able to interact with his father and for the first time meet his father, which is a great achievement. For Act 10, The Road Back, in the movie, Percy has the bolt and his mom is ready to finish the quest, in the sense that he hasn't really already given the bolt back to Zeus. He is on his pathway home because he's already met the achievement of going to the underworld, coming back, saving his mom, holding the bolt. So his road home is actually going to Olympus and ending the civil war before it begins. However, in the TV show, Percy's quest is already finished. He comes back to Camp Half-Blood as a hero. He stopped the gods from civil war. He is a demigod among demigods. He is a huge influence and has this sort of ambiance of strength that was not there before. It really is a true symbolism of the road back home. Now for Act 11 is the Revelation. Now the Revelation is kind of the final battle. It's this idea that you have to overcome one thing. You thought the journey was done. You thought I did what I was supposed to do. I'm good. I'm supposed to relax, lay back, be all good. And this final battle does occur. Now the funny thing is, the final battle in and of itself is the same in both mediums, both the movie and the TV show. It's the fight against Luke. However, in the movie, Percy hasn't finished his quest to return the bolt, and it is more that Luke is stopping him from doing this to create civil war within the gods. In fact, in the movie, this act is very similar to that of the act of the TV show, which was Ares stopping Percy from going and returning the lightning bolt to Zeus. But in the TV show, this structure was more closely related to the earlier act of Act 8, the Ordeal. This was more of the belly of the beast, the oh my gosh, is Percy really gonna walk out of it, rather than where the movie has it as a revelation, a reveal of the final battle that is to end this hero's journey. And of course, Percy is able to take on Luke and show his true strength. As in the TV show, Percy already knows his strength. He doesn't need to fight at Luke's level. And in fact, in this revelation, it does show that Percy had an enemy in someone he called a friend, which was Luke, but also that Luke has valid points, and maybe he should be fighting alongside Luke and not against him. However, everything that he has learned up to this point has caused him to reevaluate what he believes is a good parent. He has the loyalty and love of his father, which is what he was rewarded with. He has the love of his mother, who knows he loves his father, who is a god. He is very much on the sense of righteousness being with the gods rather than the Titans, as Luke perceives. So he fights Luke not to defeat his enemy and finish his quest, but to protect those in Camp Half-Blood from not joining Luke and not creating another civil war within themselves. He is literally having to stop what he just had to stop in this battle and this revelation. It also enhances the friendship between Annabeth and Percy, because Annabeth must choose between who she considered a brother, her only family, to now one of her best friends, which she ends up siding with, of course, the factuals of the gods, even though her journey and her arc was to kind of see maybe the gods aren't perfect, but we are to decide our own fate. And she finally does. She stops listening to those around her and makes her choice of choosing Percy as an ally. And Percy, of course, battling it out with Luke, then knowing that there is more to come, and the fact that this is definitely not over in any sense of the way. Act 12, return with the Elixir. So this is the idea that the hero has truly returned back. The quest has fully ended. There are no more battles. He has learned all he needs to learn. He has done all he needs to do. And this is the conclusion of his story. In the movie, Percy now knows who he is and where he belongs, which is actually Camp Half-Blood. He has already returned the bow to Zeus. He's already met with his father. He gets to live a life of peacefulness in Camp Half-Blood. However, the TV show does a different perspective in which all three characters not only have finished out their quest and have defeated all of their enemies, even the unsuspecting ones, they are now going off to join and earn their reward. To see that Annabeth could be wrong about someone in the perspective of someone, her not liking Percy and then becoming his closest friend, gives her an opportunity to change her mind about her father and see what the school year may bring in the regular world. And a trip to Disney World wouldn't hurt nobody. As for Percy, he gets to go on this adventure of getting to be with his mom without any interruptions of his own world, as if he knows, right? He's already defeated almost every enemy that he has. There is no reason for Hades to come after him. They've kind of set up a sort of treaty kind of situation, so it's safer for him to, of course, go out into the real world and come back to Camp Half-Blood in the next summer to continue training. Grover gets to finally search for Pan, his final journey into becoming the satyr that he wants to be. He gets to go and search for Pan. And so his lone journey begins. All of our heroes, in fact, get what they originally wanted from the beginning of this story. It becomes full circle. It has a closing loop, but it does hint to further adventures. Alright guys, that is the conclusion of the hero's journey with Percy Jackson and the Lightning Bolt Thief, both the TV show and the movie. Tell me guys down below, what are your thoughts? Which one do you think followed the hero's journey more on point? Or do you think there were steps in the movie or TV show that fit a different type of category? Please comment down below, and for more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay magical.